Doing what I feel with no regrets. Constantly forgiving, but I'm never gonna forget. Always keeping my composure, I won't let them see me sweat. The only thing that really matters is the power and respect in this world. I won't make the same mistakes from all the lessons I learned. Ain't no coping, no emotions for them bridges I burned. Must have been
How's the hair, man?
You know what, man? It's been good. I think the last 2 times I got my hair cut, I saw Jordan. He went on with the shears and was cutting it down. He said I had some split ends and some stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna take my split ends, nigga. I want it to grow.
I kept my split ends.
Yeah,
I haven't let nobody touch the top since I started growing mine. It'll be all right.
yeah. I'm about to let it grow out.
Yeah, you talking
For real.
Anyways, yo, we're episode 15 in the building. This is Drew. We got, a matter of fact, no, I like when y'all introduce yourselves, so y'all go ahead. Austin in his bag today, so I expect a worthy introduction today.
What's up, man? It's Young AJ. I don't really have no AKAs, but it is, y'all got to understand the distinction between Austin and Young AJ, man. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock my Young AJ Twitter, and then y'all can see, you know what I'm saying, who I was and who I'm bringing back to life.
Like T.I. versus T.I.P.?
Yes, sir. That's it. It's Young AJ in the building today.
Good job.
What's good, y'all? I'll let Lance go last. You feel me? My name is Lake. Call me Lake Show. Yeah.
Do people really call you that?
That's a good question.
Wow.
I was asking. Well, people on the football team did.
Okay.
He was making plays. See, I got your back, bro.
All right.
Nah, you supposed to.
Quickly.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, man. It's Lance, a.k.a. Six. I told y'all last week I was done with the nicknames because I think that one was outrageous. So we could
Steven A6.
just call me Lance or Six.
I feel it. Yes, sir. So we went to the roll call. Jordan ain't here today. We're going to hold it down for the bro. Y'all smacking y'all teeth, bro?
Nah, we ain't smacking our teeth.
I heard teeth smack.
That was
Jordan ain't here today.
Jordan had things to do.
Yeah, Jordan, he had some things on his itinerary he needed to take care of in a timely manner. So,
Sorry, Jordan.
Do y'all want to... You say what'd you say, Lance?
I said sorry, Jordan. Apologies.
There we go.
Jordan, we gonna be real. Jordan was mad at us. We were a little late today.
very late.
Jordan is, like Drew said, on an itinerary, and yeah,
He had somewhere he had to be at a certain time, and these niggas ain't make it back. So,
apologies,
Yeah,
Jordan.
you
If
feel
you
me?
if you watch this, man, or you better watch it, apologies.
So we back live with the Mac 4.
Mac Pro today. You feel me? But
back door with the Mac.
we gonna hold it down. I think we would have liked his input on what we're gonna talk about today, but we gonna bring some insight and intelligence on the convo anyway.
For sure.
So what we're gonna do today is kind of like take something that was going on throughout the week that we found to be pretty hilarious and like spin it into a productive convo. So I'm not sure like if everybody is aware of who Kwame Brown is, but just some backstory on who he is. He was the number 1 pick in the NBA draft 2001, and he was drafted by Michael Jordan, and he had a whole career of not living up to the expectations of a number 1 pick, and for years he's been getting clowned about it, and on All the Smoke podcast, All the Smoke podcast, I think Jeannie Buss was on there, and they were talking about the trade that the Lakers did to get Pau Gasol.
Yep.
And in that trade, we included Kwame Brown. We included Javaris Crittenton, who's in jail for like murder or something like that right now. He tripped out.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, him, and then I said Marc Gasol, Kwame Brown, and then Javaris Crittenton. Maybe like a pick or something like that. I don't know. But when Jeannie was going over the details of the trade, Matt Barnes decided to poke fun at Kwame Brown. And Steven Jackson kind of co-signed with it in that interview. And, I guess Kwame Brown, that was a straw that broke the camel's back for him because he's been going crazy ever since.
Going crazy.
Y'all want to get into some of the stuff he got into?
Man, just about every day for the past 2 weeks, or for the past week,
Like week and a half.
Kwame Brown's been trending on Twitter.
Literally every day, bro.
Yeah, because he's been going crazy, man.
I tried the wrong one. What you expect? You poked the bear. Shit.
My mama's cooking.
Don't ask me.
But nah, so he addressed Matt and Steven Jackson. He was going crazy on them, called Matt Barnes Becky with the good hair. What he say about Steven Jackson? Said he was a
Fake gangster.
He was a black activist gangster murderer. Yeah, that's shit, man. At the end of the day, that whole situation, what happened with him was just funny. He basically been on YouTube, IG Live, all that shit, just going ham on niggas. If you go on Twitter and type Kwame in your Twitter search,
You see all the
you gonna
videos.
see all the videos. He been going in, and it's quite entertaining to say the least. I'm just gonna be honest with
He
you.
been on live too.
IG Live.
IG Live.
I
Yeah.
think I said that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's funny for me because when it first popped off, I guess maybe not even when it first popped off, but after everything popped off, Steven Jackson and Matt Brown was like, Matt Barnes was like, yeah, it's just jokes. Like, it's just jokes. We just joking. You the butt of a joke. And Kwame Brown was like, all right, bet. Like, it's just jokes. I'm joking too. I'm just joking about your real life.
He joking about your real life.
Man.
What did he say? He said,
He said something about like you could joke about my skills, my basketball career, nigga. I could joke about your life.
he was talking about, because Matt Barnes, I don't know if y'all know, he had a situation some years ago. Him and Derek Fisher used to play together on the Lakers. So they was teammates, friends, all that. And Derek Fisher is dating Matt Barnes' ex-wife and his mother of two of his
now,
kids.
right?
Are they married? If they're not, they will be.
Got married.
He was somebody, but
proposing.
But Derek Fisher got with him, and it was a whole story back when it happened. Supposedly, Matt Barnes was driving like 90 miles an hour on the freeway to go beat Derek Fisher ass, and like he had to hop over the gate of his own house and all that. And you know, Kwame Brown poked fun of that. He was like, "She chose, nigga."
She chose. And it wasn't you.
Yeah. He been going in, and then he started getting Stephen A. Smith for what that epic rant that Stephen A. went on. Probably when the trade happened, actually, when he got traded to Memphis. But
Charlamagne the God.
Charlamagne.
He went in on Charlamagne.
What did Charlamagne say?
Charlamagne, he came out. He basically was like, he basically did a PSA on the Breakfast Club saying, "Y'all don't want no smoke with this man." And he ended up catching some smoke.
He did air out a lot of shit.
He did.
A lot of shit.
Yeah,
So
some
like
shit,
he
man.
said,
But that's like him to do that, though.
some shit that his dad did.
Oh, I seen that. I knew. I was like, bro, he about to go off on you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You telling all this man business. So
Yeah.
what was his response? What he said?
Kwame Brown?
Yeah.
Oh, that nigga went crazy. He was talking about how he said Charlamagne had raped a 15-year-old girl. So he basically just been going in on that for real. It's like, you airing out my family business. I ain't got nothing to do with my father. I ain't even met this brother. My dad went and had a baby outside of the marriage with my mom. So I ain't got nothing to do with that. But you out here telling the world about all this. So, I mean, why don't we talk about this rape case you trying to sweep under the rug?
Yep. I'm telling you, he bleached his face, tear down black men.
And everybody else on the Breakfast Club got
They caught
some
smoke,
smoke too.
Yeah, they did, boy.
They do that.
He called them beta bitches.
But you know what, though, man? A lot of the stuff that he said has some truth to it.
Facts.
A lot of it was
What
facts.
he said about Angela Yee, man?
He just told her to stay in her place, pretty much.
Basically, yeah, like she ain't got a man, and you know, that shit. I don't know if that was like truth or.
He kind of said the same thing about Jamel Hill. Jamel
Jamel.
Yeah.
What did she say?
I don't even know.
She just said all she said was Kwame Brown chose violence, and Kwame Brown took the word violence offensively. He's like, all I'm doing is speaking words, and y'all over here putting this violence tag on my name. Like,
Right.
I think he kind of went a little overboard with that one personally, but
I think at that point he was fishing for attention. Yeah, he reached. I mean, I think he smartened up a little bit and realized that this was an opportunity to capitalize off of, because y'all know he got T-shirts, his YouTube channel. Like, he posts a video and he'll be like, "I'll see you over my YouTube channel." Yeah. That's smart, bro. You get YouTube subscribers. You know, YouTube cut the check once you get over 1,000.
Yeah, that is smart.
So I ain't mad at him.
I didn't know he had t-shirts.
Yeah, he got T-shirts out too. Let's say my mama's cooking.
He must have just came out with that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was on the Stephen A. rant. He was talking about Stephen A.
Yo, he
He said,
said,
I should find out who your old lady is, you punk old bitch.
"Show her my mama cooking."
I speak exposed seasons on that. I don't talk too much. Nigga.
He said, "I was picking some good seasoning on that." Yeah, he was out of line, man. He was out of line.
But he did say a lot of facts. Like, he was an 18-year-old kid who came into the league, and you know, everybody labeling him as a bust and like so on and so forth, which we'll get into later. But I don't think he was put in the proper position when he came into the league to succeed, because he was basically just getting attacked from jump about you know, his basketball skills. And when you're 18 years old, you really just need some like development. It's a reason you got drafted number 1. And even if MJ wouldn't have took a number 1, I'm sure he would have won the lottery regardless.
All right.
So that's
why do y'all think it took him up until like 20 years later to finally like snap and go in on everybody?
bro, everybody got their breaking points.
Yeah.
Everybody got their breaking points.
I honestly feel like he ain't even snap for real.
Like he
I
could.
think he playing, man. I think that when he responded the first time and he saw how much of a reaction it caused, I think he was like, "Oh, this is interesting."
And he kept it going.
And he kept it going.
Good job.
Yeah, he
He
did.
never responded to anything else before.
Right.
Right.
Instead, that caught the wind of, you know, trending on
Mainstream
Twitter.
media, but no, he hasn't.
So, I mean,
There has been a platform to talk about him, like all the smoke. I feel like. I mean, ESPN, you know, they'll speak.
Man, everybody has said something about Kwame Brown, bro.
While he was
and
playing,
I'm not even
but,
gonna act like I ain't guilty. I mean, he played for the Lakers, and he was one of the main reasons. Him, Smith Parker, a whole bunch of others, Chris Mim, like them niggas was holding Kobe back, bro.
Yeah.
So even like, I'm not gonna act like I ain't never said nothing about Kwame Brown being trash or being a bust, because I'm definitely have. I still don't want no smoke with you though, bro.
Yeah, he gonna find out who your wife is.
Let bygones be bygones. Like you going in on Stephen A. over some shit he said in 2008, but I don't want that smoke, man. We just trying to make your situation into a larger conversation. So I don't want no smoke, Kwame. Don't come my way. You feel
Drew
me?
said he don't want. He
I
said
don't want none of that.
he don't want his wife to see some of your mama's cooking.
shit, some good publicity for the Mac 5. Fuck it.
Right.
Not in my experience.
Hey, we got an older brother. That nigga Jordan was talking mad cash about you, Kwame Brown. Jordan said.
He not even here. I'm gonna tell y'all what Jordan said. Jordan was like, nigga, you was trash. Like, you was trash your whole career. Like, don't get mad now because people talking about how trash you was on the court. You was just trash.
Yep.
That's the synopsis of what he was saying, and I'll let him put up maybe a post on the page if
That's what he said,
I
Kwame.
misinterpreted or misrepresented his stance.
Get him.
But he was kind of over the whole social media thing that Kwame was doing.
Right.
I feel for Kwame though, cause he was trash, but niggas is still talking about it.
Yeah,
Talk
he
about
played
how
12 years.
You know what I'm saying? Man?
How many other people get into the NBA? As a matter of fact, let's do a comparison. You can talk about Greg Oden. I know he wasn't. Was he number
Can't
2?
call him a bust. It was
He had
injuries.
I know he had
and
injuries.
stuff. He just wasn't healthy. But somebody like
True.
Anthony Bennett went number 1 to the Cavs a few
Yeah,
years
people
ago.
don't talk about him.
Or even more recently, man, you go Markel
I don't even
Fultz.
know who Anthony
I
Bennett
mean,
is.
he got injuries too.
He got injuries too.
I bet also don't know who Anthony Bennett is.
Of course I know who he is.
You do?
No.
Exactly. So like you got cases.
Yeah, I don't
like
even
him.
know what happened to him.
You could even go back to Sam Bowie getting drafted before Michael Jordan, number 2.
So why did everybody pick on Kwame Brown? You know what I think it
I
is?
don't know who got picked on.
That's facts. That's true.
He did, but I mean, he was on a bigger platform than everybody else. I think. You know, he played with Michael Jordan and he played with Kobe.
He played with Mike. He played with
Markel
Kobe.
Fultz don't get much slack.
He got
injuries.
injuries. Like he been hurt.
Kwame Brown played
But
for
I
12
mean, you
years.
could even like this nigga say Lonzo a bust.
Yeah, facts.
You got niggas say Lonzo a bust. So
But that's false though, statistically.
But yeah, if I'm Kwame, I'm a little tight. We still talking about this. Let's talk about the fact, you know, got my mom out the hood. You feel me? Was able to provide for his family. After you know, a situation they come from, being, you know, from wherever they from. Shit, like that's a win, man. What y'all shipping on?
Straight up.
Y'all
And I
talking
mean-
about some bullshit.
right, and I mean that kind of goes into my next point. So as far as like the expectations that are set on
First
whether
round.
it's an NBA player, NFL player. We not really like big on baseball, but like even like baseball players, like the expectations that are put on those people once they get to a certain level in their profession, like the NBA and all that. Let's have a conversation on that, kind of like what you just said. Like what is it about our culture that like is able to set these expectations on these people coming like they're still human at the end of the day.
Yep.
So like what is it about like our culture that puts these enormous expectations on these people, and then who are we who aren't even in the NBA or playing professional sports or doing anything of that sort to be able to cast judgment on that? Like, what is it about that culture that kind of like that we participate in?
Man.
I feel like I'll go first. I'll be real brief. I think shit, these niggas getting paid so much money, man. Like, he need to show us something. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, show your work. You getting paid all this money to I guess perform at a certain level, and when you bullshitting or you're not living up to expectations, it's a problem. Right. Yeah, you human, but shit, you getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. People investing in you.
Beyond the money, man, people don't play about their sports teams, bro. Yeah. Like people invest. People, I mean, of course, people bet. But, like, people are, like, die-hard. Like, you could look at somebody like even Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a die-hard Jets fan. And he talks trash about Jets players who don't live up to their potential. It's not anything against them. Or shoot, I mean, Lakers, yeah. It's not anything against them personally. It's like, you ain't doing nothing for my squad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You stressed me out.
But it's some people that be sending death threats.
Yeah. See, when it goes that far, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But I guess my thing is, like I said, they still human at the end of the day. We don't see anything about their lives outside of what we see on that basketball court, football field, baseball diamond, or maybe like when they do interviews in the media. We don't see nothing that goes on. We don't know the type of challenges, adversity, or anything like that they go through. So I guess why as a society don't we like highlight some of the burdens that are on them, family asking them for money left and right? Like, why don't we highlight like some of the struggles that they go through that we don't necessarily see?
Because a lot of people don't think the way that you do. Whereas we might have. I
don't mean to cut you off, but I participate in that shit too. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. Like, this nigga trash, this nigga a bust. Like, he don't meet expectations. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not guilty of that too, because I do it as well.
I mean, we're all guilty of it, and it comes with, I mean, especially like if you're a high draft pick, if you're like the first or second pick, like you said, Lonzo's still being called a bust. We still talk about Andrew Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? He averaging what? 15?
He blew the play there, bro.
But he blew the playoffs, but people still look at him like, he's not reaching expectations.
Yeah.
And it just comes with being a high draft pick. You got so much expectations. People are counting on you to like be the savior of the franchise. And when you don't live up to them expectations, we talk shit.
That's
call
facts.
you a bust.
I feel like people don't care about personal stories or what you had to overcome or anything. Like, they don't care. They ready to see you in action.
And it's like once you make it to the league, it's like you're there. Like, you're supposed to perform. You're a professional at this point.
I really think it's just a matter of those stories not being told. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got NBA games in your face at least 3 times a week where they're playing, and you see that more than anything else. So I'm not seeing what you do in the locker room, and because I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind. Like, I don't know what you're going through.
You know what's crazy though?
You hear those stories after the fact. Go ahead.
You hear those stories about the lower draft picks, right? He came up from here. Right. He was an undrafted,
like a Jimmy Butler, for example.
You hear that all the time, like Lynn Sanity, Jeremy Lin. You know what I'm saying? But they don't highlight it like that when you're a top draft pick. You're supposed to come in and just perform.
So hype and entertainment overshadows whatever personal story they have.
For sure.
Even like if you even want to go back to Allen Iverson, like when he obviously was a number 1 pick who met all the expectations, Hall of Famer, one of the most culturally like impactful NBA players.
Right.
One of the most culturally impactful players ever.
Yeah.
And when he had that rant about practice, everybody spun that into AI not caring about practice. And we didn't even get the full story on that till a few years ago. He clarified one of his best friends just died. So it's like, nigga, one of my best friends just died. What the fuck I look like care about practice?
Damn, I didn't even hear about that.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit make a lot of sense.
So it's not only that, people don't necessarily care about those type of stories like you said. And I'm gonna say like all people, because I care to hear stuff like that. I'm a junkie as far as like getting like backstories on people who are successful. Like I love looking into that, documentaries, all that.
Yeah.
But like, it's a machine built behind pushing out negativity, which I'll get into later. But like, I guess I don't know. It's just it's a real tricky situation when it comes to the information that the powers that be want us to see versus what we actually know. Right.
I think it's a matter of what generates the most dollars at the end of the day. I mean, everything boils down to dollars. And unfortunately, I think chemically humans are wired to like be attracted to drama the same way flies attract themselves to lights.
Right.
Like you just can't help it, man. Like if I'm somewhere and I'm scrolling my phone and I see like a fight video, I'm gonna watch the fight video. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna watch it because it's like, oh dang, like he got rocked. Like, and thinking back on it, it's like, dang, like I really shouldn't give in to stuff like that because I don't support that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's entertaining. Right. It's the same reason why people watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's why they watch all the other reality shows with all the drama. It's why they tuned in to all the beefs.
MMA,
And the funny thing is,
boxing.
the funny thing is, well, not boxing, that's professional sports, but like Real Husbands or Real, whatever that shit's
It's
called.
entertainment though.
But people know it's trash.
Right, yeah.
We sit here and be like, yo, this shit trash, but I'm gonna watch it though.
Yeah, for sure.
That
People
shit funny,
love
I'ma
it.
Watch it. Yeah.
So people, I think, if I'm a producer for a network and I know that humans are like that, and I see that I can pull something dramatic out of this, then I'm gonna do that because I know it's gonna produce the most ratings, which is gonna give me the most dollars. It's sad.
And that's the problem.
It is a problem. So y'all, are y'all suggesting that we need to see a change?
I'm gonna get to that a little later. I got that in my notes. I wanna elaborate on that for sure.
Okay.
But
Monologue.
you said what?
Nothing.
But no, like I guess I mean even playing into that, just the fact that we even like had the audacity to call somebody who is a top 400 person in the world at their profession, for us to even like have the audacity to call them a bust is, you know, it's.
But I mean, like, if we speaking facts though, if you ain't live up to expectations, that's considered a bust. Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying like
We're not calling him a bum. You're not a bum. You're a good person.
I mean,
you did everything for your family.
I'm not gonna act like I ain't never called an NBA player a bum before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you're on the court
did it
production that has nothing to do with your off the court life. Like, we're not speaking on your life off the court. So if I say that you're a bust because you didn't meet expectations, then you're a bust.
And I think part of like the reason why LeBron is held in such high regard is because he was probably the player who had the most expectations
And
on
exceeded
him
them.
that anybody in maybe sports history has ever had placed on their shoulders coming into the league.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to become who he was and exceed the expectations, you ain't never seen him get locked up for something. You ain't never seen him.
No scandals.
Like, he ain't had no type of scandals made like public. Like he's really kept his shit close to the vest and like buttoned up, and to the point where, you know, he's made nothing but a positive impact. Yeah. Even like outside of the fact that on the court he's a top 3 player all time, undebatable. Some people will put him much higher than that even. But yeah, somebody like Bron, like for him to meet expectations, I think that's another reason why he's held in such high regard, because us as humans, we place such high expectations on those who have
positions of influence.
Required.
Absolutely.
Like, we understand that mindset, so we required a lot out of LeBron, and for him to be able to stand up to that is, you know, that's some G shit, bro. So I mean, but even like going back to Kwame Brown, like yeah, he didn't, you know, meet expectations as far as like what he did on the court. Yep. But you ain't never heard him be a part of no scandals. You
right. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of his story that we're finding out now, that like, you know, a lot of like he probably has more. We're probably finding out more about his life now than we ever did during his playing.
Absolutely.
Because he's been trending like crazy. Obviously, he played a lot of his years were played in the non-Twitter era, but a lot of what we're finding out about his life is because of what's going on right now. Obviously, Charlemagne said some of it, but he had a challenging life coming up. And he even spoke to it on some of his rants about how, okay, I'm a bust, but I played 12 years in the NBA. I made $63 million. I was able to get out of my situation in the projects and put my mama in the home at the age of 18. Like, in what life do you really call somebody accomplishing that at 18 a bust? Imagine where me, you, any of us were at age 18. Yeah. Not there.
Not at all.
Regardless of whether, you know, he met expectations once he got to that level, he put in the work before he got to that level to be considered
one of the greatest.
And I don't think he would have had a problem with the whole the podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson if they brought all that stuff up.
Right.
They just point out all the negative stuff about his career.
I mean, they didn't even go in depth. They just took a little jab, like that
Right.
a lot of people have taken and gotten away with.
That's all that's all it takes.
Right.
That's
I mean,
all
he
it
just
takes.
was sick of the shit. Obviously,
Yeah.
he was sick of it, and he started going ham on pretty much anything he's ever seen or anybody that talked negative about him. But I mean, that just kind of speaks to, like I was saying, like he accomplished. If you judge in life on a scale of, okay, I got my mom out the hood, put her in the house. I did this, I did that, I did the third. He accomplished a lot in his life, and he's still probably maybe like late 30s, early 40s right
for
now.
sure.
Right.
And I know he's like helping out his community based on what he said in his rants. But yeah, I mean, he's done a lot in his life, regardless of what we think about, what he did on the basketball court.
For sure.
So, I mean, we look at, what he did in his life through the lens of professional sports. But it's a lot you can do in your life, regardless of what you did in between the sidelines and the baseline.
So do you think people are too hard on him?
If you're just talking about basketball, I mean, no.
I think he been a little sensitive, if you ask me.
Think he been a little sensitive? Elaborate on that.
Dude, he's talking about basketball, bro. Relax. Yeah, you was trash, but like, shit, you was the #1 pick, bro. What you expect? Like, have thick skin.
I mean, he's not the first one to be ridiculed the way that he is.
Absolutely
He
not.
said something funny. He was talking about going on tour with Nelly. I just watched the clip. I might have dropped
I
today.
think I saw that.
That he was talking about. He was like, man, let me put a basketball court up, and we gonna have Stephen A. Smith narrate me missing a whole bunch of layups. His bitch ass. I'm like, bonafide scrub. You talking all this shit about me all this year. Let's go out on tour and get some money together, you bitch ass. I'm sorry, like I know that like Usher said, we kind of like we gonna react to something negative quicker than we go react to something
Absolutely,
positive.
absolutely.
At the end of the day, that like shit like that is just funny.
Yeah.
And like even when Lance first sent the clip in the chat. And like the stuff that we were seeing on social media is like that we sending like to our homies and all that. Like, yo, that shit is funny.
It's funny, bro.
Like we can't sit here and act like it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And it's not even like full on drama. Like he's laughing too. Like
He's
in the
playing it too.
yeah, like he's laughing.
I've seen some of the videos. He's like, see, I know that this ignorant shit is what's going to attract y'all. But even when I do this ignorant shit and say this ignorant shit, I'm going to say some,
Some real
things,
stuff.
some real shit that actually like makes sense, things that we should be doing.
Yeah.
And like we said, he done said some real shit like in the midst of his rants.
Right.
You
Very
feel me?
intelligent. Very intelligent.
Right. Like I
was
can't
very
even sit
smart,
here and
bro.
accuse him of not being smart. He definitely sounds very intelligent.
For
He
sure.
knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing.
But it's all jokes, man.
Right.
Don't be tripping.
So
Yeah, we sitting here watching the Atlanta New York Knicks.
I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all know
Game
we got
one.
the playoffs on, man.
Yeah, we
Bro,
figured
Basketball
Johnny.
fans over here.
either or. But nah, so let's get back on track. Shout out to Trigger Trey Young, game winner on the Knicks, hoe ass niggas. Talk my shit real quick. That's another example of some negativity that I'm spreading. Fuck the Knicks, nigga.
Drama.
Yeah.
Drama.
Yeah, shout out to my nigga Q. Fuck you, nigga. Let's go.
Drew chose violence.
Hell yeah,
Violence.
boy.
You gotta
I
be
did.
careful when you say
But-
choose violence.
Yeah, I mean, Q ain't no Kwame Brown ass nigga, so I ain't worried about that. But nah,
See, Drew talking shit right
yeah,
now.
but this is actually like a perfect, like, I'm contradicting everything I'm about to bring up right now. But nah, on a serious note though, it's, I tried to I tried. But nah, like for real. What is it about our culture that like is so attracted to negative stuff? Like why are we programmed that way? Like I talked about a machine being built behind it already, but like what do y'all think it is that, causes us to react so quickly to something that is quote unquote negative? Like, yeah, what y'all think?
Like we said before, it's just entertaining. And I honestly, I don't think it's something that we could fully explain. I think it's psychological. Like, honestly, I don't know why I'm attracted to it, but I am. Like Austin said, when you see a fight, you gonna watch that fight. You see some drama, you're gonna watch the drama just to see what it's about. you know, it may be trash. It may, you know, be a negative impact on the culture. But at the same time, we're all going to tune in because it's entertaining, and you just can't explain why you gravitate towards it. You know?
Dave Robinson got knocked out.
Exactly,
How
bro.
many times did you rewind that shit?
I watched that shit thousands of times.
Exactly. It's like you just don't know why. Like
Exactly.
What
No.
is it about that?
I think it's spiritual to a certain extent. We're all attracted to that forbidden fruit, right? So we all want to do, I guess, the wrong thing. We want to watch the wrong thing because it's fun, it's entertaining. People who still afterwards they say it's an adrenaline rush. They want to do it again. I don't know, man. It's just to a certain point, it might be spiritual, man, because it's a little bit of I can't really explain, and then at the same time, it's just who we are.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
So we,
shit from day one.
being born into sin, that's what we. I guess that's what we gravitate towards. So we got to fight that part.
We
of
do.
us.
Yeah.
I think it's physiological, spiritual as well, physiological. Where like I think one of the things that happens when we see stuff like that is dopamine is released, and that's something it sends signals to the brain, or the brain sends signals somewhere that it's an enjoyable experience. So like you just you watch it, but I could, at least for myself, I can say at the same time I also enjoy seeing the opposite, like the positive stories. Like the perfect example would be Kobe and Shaq, like their beef or whatever. But it felt equally as good to watch them in that interview.
Yeah.
To like go back and forth and reminisce, and then to like bury the hatchet in a sense.
But I feel like at the same time,
It don't spread as
that.
quickly.
At the same time, I feel like that's still like tied in with the drama.
Tied in
too,
with
because
drama.
People want to like
See how it
see
resolves.
exactly. So because you're gonna,
Imagine if they fought instead of had like a good.
it's like you didn't.
It
It would have went viral.
It
mean,
went viral. It was
Yeah, facts.
We knew they weren't gonna fight.
Dang, so why is that happening? Why is all the bad stuff going viral?
I wish
That's
I had
what
my
we
phone
like.
right now. I would go to Twitter and see what's trending.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because even it boils down to news as well.
might
I
be
could go on
audition.
CNN, Twitter, bro. It's never good news. It's
news is
always
built-
somebody
Yeah,
somebody
news in
died.
general.
12 people died. 4
Even
people
like
died.
Channel 2 Action News.
My
all
first
of
thought
them.
when I see somebody's name trending on Twitter, if it's not like, if I don't know something ahead of time.
What happened?
If I see J. Cole dropping an album and I see his name trending, it's like, okay, I know he dropped the album. But if somebody's name is trending out of nowhere, my first thought is, damn, I hope they didn't die. And I click on it to make sure that they didn't die.
Or it's like, oh, what this nigga do?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. It's a lot of that. Like, even like with Kwame Brown, like every time, if I just check the trending topic, I was like, damn, what this nigga do that? So,
Man, people, we just attracted to bad news, man. It's
Right.
just like Kwame Brown. Who want to watch a good news story?
right. I mean, another like perfect examples that we consider like as classics that like is basically like built off of negativity is like, if you want to go into a recent case and even like in the industry we're trying to get into, which is the podcast industry, the Joe Budden podcast situation where
Rory Mal.
basically fired Rory and Mal on air. That shit was trending for some days.
It was, yeah.
It's
And like
people
we
who-
was trying to figure out what's going on with this. Why did this happen? Like I'm not even a regular viewer of the Joe Budden podcast, but I wanted to try to listen to that one. He put it behind the paywall. But when Mal and Rory dropped their response, I definitely watched that just to like figure out what's going on. And obviously that situation is built on negativity. But
And I'm sure there's people who never even saw an episode of the podcast that was like, oh,
That
I
watched
know
the
Joe
whole-
Budden. Let me see what he talking about. I know he
they
always
spin it
enjoying
off into their own podcast
Exactly.
too. Even though Joe said he was going to sue them for doing it, but
Yeah.
It's like rappers starting rap beef.
I had that on my list.
Yeah.
Rap beef we attracted like Drake, Meek Mill, Drake, Pusha T.
Yeah, I mean, you seen 6ix9ine rose to stardom off of negativity alone. Like, hey, it was nothing.
Facts.
It wasn't even about talent with him. It was the fact that he was beefing with all these
everybody.
people. That's the only reason he gained clout. But you know what? It worked though. It worked.
It worked to an extent.
I mean, until he got locked up.
That's I guess another whole different point that we can
Right.
have this
I
That's
mean,
true.
we kind of touched on that before. I think we were talking about the Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. You know,
Right.
we
Even the
was
fact
talking about
that
it
we
then.
comparing niggas is almost built off of like negativity. Like if we have somebody who we think is the best, like in a way we almost root for somebody who we don't think is better than them to drop a mid-ass album rather than dropping some music that we all could enjoy just so we could talk shit to niggas who think that the artists that they represent is better than the one we are. Like,
Facts.
for instance, I'm a Kendrick fan, and I got like homies that's J. Cole fans. So J. Cole dropped a fire ass album, and they be like, oh, look at J. Cole, he that nigga, bro. Kendrick is done. Like even like that culture, and you can go take that into comparing NBA players, NFL players, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so is that something that that's? Oh, go ahead. I was
just saying, even the culture of like comparing people can be based off of negativity. Like you, and I'm not gonna say I'm not guilty. Oh, I didn't see that, RJ Barrett. But even that, like the fact that we comparing people is based on negativity. Like instead of I had a thought maybe like a few days ago as I was listening to J. Cole, I was like, why the fuck we comparing these niggas? Like, why we can't just root for this fire ass music to drop no matter who it is that's dropping it? Like, obviously we have our opinions on who's the favorite, but we we want good music at the end of the day. Like, it's been too many trash ass albums that I'll listen to one time and I never go back and listen to ever again, and not think nothing twice about it. Versus like somebody I like J. Cole at the end of the day. And it even goes back to the Bron versus Kobe thing that we talked about before. Like, I was a big Kobe fan, and I liked LeBron back in the day, but the fact that we came to Georgia and niggas was talking shit about Kobe, it's like, all right, well, I can't ride with Bron because the niggas who ride with Bron don't fuck with Kobe. Right, like even that thing is based off of negativity. So
I think that it's understandable because the root of sports and music is competition. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you go back to rap, the origins of rap. I mean, I'm talking about, okay, so let's start with gangster rap because we ain't talking about Run DMC and all of that. But if you,
I was about to say,
no. We ain't going that far back. But if you talk about the emergence of gangster rap and you talk about NWA and Pac and Biggie and Diddy and all of them, it was built off of beef. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what exploded.
East versus West.
Yeah, that's what exploded rap, bro. It's the verses. East versus West. Knicks versus Atlanta, whatever the case is. Like, that's why people go to these games and they fight the fans of the opposing team because there's that competition aspect involved. So everything is built off of that. And so that's why we had these conversations talking about Kwame Brown or talking about whoever, because it's built off competition. It's competitive, man.
Right. And I mean, it's an element to competition that's positive as well. Like, obviously there has to be a loser and there has to be a winner, but it's a lot of knowledge like gained in competition. Like, it don't matter what field you in. You're doing something that is a level of competition. If you're in for instance, like y'all do like health and fitness. So in order for you to gain clients, you got to prove why you're better than somebody else at what y'all both do. You know what I'm saying? And that don't make it negative that you proving that you better than somebody. Is just.
But you know what though? The trainers that I see that consistently say like, "Oh, y'all gonna stop dealing with all these F-boy trainers and eventually y'all gonna work with me." They eat, bro. They eat because they take that approach. I ain't got that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I'm not about to do that because that's just not who I am.
Right, and you got to be who you are.
You gotta have a level of confidence, man. And when you exude that confidence, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go with him because he seems like.
But is there a way to exude that confidence without trying to down somebody else?
Without tearing other people down.
Right, like. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, if niggas is trash at what they do,
you're trash.
I think there's a place in this world to call them out on it without like coming off as being negative. Like, for instance, like Kobe's approach. Like, if you niggas ain't trying to be the best that you can be, I don't even want you on my team.
Scram.
Like, period. So there's you want to be able to weed out, those who ain't really about it versus the ones who are. So, like, I guess it's a conversation of, is something like that really negative? But that can go a whole another tangent, whole another conversation and all that. But it's just really interesting to me, like why, like how we're hardwired to, and whenever we see something, it could be entertaining, it could be funny, but if you go to the root of it, it's probably negative. How quickly it spreads, like I was just saying a minute ago, like a classic joint that I remember that I wanted to make sure I referenced was the Ray J and Fab have it on the Breakfast Club some years ago. Y'all remember that? Outside pool. Man, that nigga Ray J went crazy on Fab on the Breakfast Club. Fab ended up calling in DJ Clue and responding and all that. I caught all of that, but it's just like, that's when that shit happened, nigga. That's all that anybody was talking about, bruh. And at the end of the day, it's based on the fact that them two niggas wasn't getting along for whatever reason.
Right.
Because of that, Ray J spun that into an interview where he was talking about all type of shit. And like I said, the shit is funny. I'm not gonna sit here and act
It's funny, man.
but
It's
at
funny.
The root of it is, I mean, it is
It's negative.
based off of negativity.
Yeah.
What is it that we are so attracted to by it, and what is it that we can do to kind of like, I don't want to say change the narrative, but how can we make positivity more viral, even if we can't make it as viral as negativity? What can we do? Like, you spoke on an example of when you saw Kobe and Shaq do that interview where they were talking, and I forget which one of y'all talked about how people wanted to watch that was based on the past of them beefing and all that. But what can we do to kind of like spin, or not just spin negativity into positivity? Because I think in a way, a good way to do it, one solution is what we're doing now, is taking a trending topic that somebody will look at as negative and spin it into a positive conversation. Like with the Kwame Brown situation, people will probably tune in and hear us talk about Kwame Brown because of the negative situation that
Surrounding
arose
it.
from that situation.
Exactly.
Taking that situation and spinning it into a productive and positive conversation. I think that's one solution. I have a couple others, but like, what do y'all think?
I think we need to learn how to agree to disagree. When people have a difference of opinions, typically it turns into a fight.
That's facts.
It turns into my person's better than your person. Well, fuck you. Well, fuck you too. Start fighting. We gotta learn how to agree to disagree. Learn how to move past a conversation and shit. Be civilized.
Mac 5 exclusive. I don't know if y'all remember in the early days, we was thinking about naming the podcast "Agree to Disagree," and for that exact reason that you're talking about, for real. But yeah, just want to throw that out there. Go ahead, like Lance, you had something.
Nah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna act like I got the answer because I don't. I mean, I think that's something we need to just take a deep dive in if you're willing to do so. Like I said, I think it's something that's psychological, and I don't think that's something that you're just gonna have an answer to.
I don't think it's nothing to fix, man. I think that that's human nature. I just think it's always gonna be that way.
I don't necessarily want to say it's something that we can fix. I mean, I don't think fixing it is realistic.
How can we balance it out, though?
Say how can we make? And I'm not saying I ain't never seen no examples of positivity.
Yeah, because we've seen that.
I say that.
Yeah, we see that too.
Definitely.
I think that's really what it boils down to, man. Is if you're not creating positive moments, then you share positive moments. You know what I'm saying? That's really all it is. And we could all do a better job at sharing the positive stuff. The same way we do is like we talk about the negative stuff.
And like you said, I mean, I don't think there's nothing that's gonna stop it, but
it's not.
I think it's all about what you put your attention towards, because there's that positive, information that people are putting out, or positive stuff, positive videos, but it's like we just gravitate towards the negative. If you just shift, what your attention goes towards and focus on the positive instead of negative, that could cause a shift.
I feel like that's more on a micro scale, though. Not that I disagree with you, because I
gotta start micro.
That's like micro, like that's like person to person. But that's like if I wanted to change me personally, like boom, I could do this, that, and the third. But I don't think that necessarily would, I guess, like how could we make positivity more attractive?
I think being in a capitalistic society doesn't help either, because
good point.
Well, what makes
Great
more
point.
money?
That's a great point.
Negativity, man. So
and we all
it's
got
like,
families to feed,
screwed,
people
man.
to provide for. You know what I mean?
This
Nothing we
country
can
ain't
do.
changing for nobody either.
But I mean, what I will say to our credit, I think what we're doing is dope. As far as doing the podcast, we're five brothers. Jordan ain't here today, obviously, but we're five. we're five brothers. I mean, honestly, our family's anomaly. We really have. It's really six of us. One of us not involved in the podcast at all, but it's five of us like doing the podcast. All of us, we're not in jail. We're not dead. We're not in the streets. We're not banging. We're not doing none of that. Even the brother we had that's not involved, even though he's, not involved, as I said, he doing his own thing. He's not in jail. He's not dead. He's not out here, spreading negativity. in his life or doing anything crazy.
College educated.
We all graduated college except Lance, but we get there.
Why'd you have to bring up college graduate?
He college educated.
We all college educated.
There you go.
The fact that
I like that
we
one.
all came from the same family and we all made it to college and we're still alive and we're still standing. It's this cliche in the black community that we're, like, niggas don't make it past 25. Like, it's a cliche, like, thing that we go through. But, to see a positive image of 5 brothers who are on the same page and who got together to, do a podcast and, sticking to it and being, committed to it is a positive image in itself. And I think, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback as far as like what we're producing and what we're doing. I just think that's, a solution, or at least if not a solution, just we're giving product to people who are seeking positivity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because just the image in itself is a positive image based on, what black families go through. Like you don't see families like us often.
Right.
And we're not gonna act like our family's perfect. We're not gonna act like our family don't have drama. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that, Jordan a little mad at us right now. You know what I'm saying? And, it's all good. We can laugh about it. And I feel him because I told y'all how I feel too. But at the same time, I have a commitment. Not to say that Jordan doesn't have that same commitment.
Jordan has different commitments to uphold.
Jordan has a lot going on himself, and his commitment. He displaying his commitment differently than I am. I know that I want to make sure that we have content every week, and as all of us together, we want to make sure that we stay on the same page. That we don't take our time for granted. Whatever may go into it, I'm not going. Y'all can check the Enough is Enough podcast to catch some of the stuff we've been going through. I'm not going to deep dive into that, but just the fact that we able to get together, regardless of like any tips. Like Jordan may be mad now, but he gonna get over it. He'll be back.
He'll get over it.
You know what I'm saying? That's like our motto. Yeah, man. We wanted you to contribute to this convo, but you know what I'm saying? It's all good. But yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think what we're doing is positive. And like I said, I think, it's a product that people could get behind if they're looking for positivity, even if we, in certain situations, have to put the medicine in the candy, so to say, and take a negative situation like what's going on with Kwame Brown going crazy on niggas and spinning into a positive and productive conversation as far as like, what is it that, basically everything that we just talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know what y'all think. What are the thoughts y'all got as far as, this whole combo situation? Whatever.
That's all you can do, man. Provide your own positivity and hope people gravitate towards it, man.
That's it. I only surround myself with people who are positive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think in my when I got about 25, 26, I stopped trying to save the world. I'm trying to save my world. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that sounds selfish to some people, but I'm worried about my bubble and the people that are around me and keeping a happy lifestyle and positive lifestyle around those that I love.
And if everybody had that type of mindset, that's how drastic change
that point,
comes,
shout out my nigga Kendrick. To Pepper Butterfly, he made that album with the idea, which is his best album in my opinion. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but to Pepper Butterfly, he made that album with the idea of wanting to change the world. And then Damn, he made that album with the idea of I can't change the world unless I change myself first. You know what I'm saying? So it starts with you, no matter what it is that you're trying to do.
And I think that's really the overall premise behind, like, you talk about how can we push positivity. Like, it starts with you, fam. Like, you can't talk about the world until you analyze yourself and your own habits.
And that's the whole conversation in itself too.
You don't fix your world.
Right. Obviously we live in a society that is attracted to negativity first. But, everything starts one person at a time. Like, even when you think, like people like Kobe, Nipsey Hussle, even like Jay-Z, a lot of like people who we look at as having positive impacts didn't come from like, you know, positive situations, but they were able, just like in how they operate individually, they changed the way people in the world look at stuff.
Exactly.
Like Nipsey, Kobe, are some of the like celebrities,
main people,
Kendrick, that like, you know, changed the way I look at things in life. And I don't even know them, and they don't know me. But it started with them and them alone. But their perspective on life and
Changed
things
it.
that they went through, the trials and tribulations, helped change the way millions of people view things.
Right.
So, I mean, to that point, it definitely starts with you. And
Starts with you, man.
starts with you.
You be more positive.
Right. And I'm not going to sit here and act like at the end of this convo, if I see like if I see a video, honestly, let me say
you gonna
this:
send that in
if
the
I
group
see a
chat?
video of a white person calling a black man a nigger, and that nigga beat his ass, that's positivity to me. That's positivity. So I'm gonna spread that shit. But, like, look at this shit, bro. That's what I'm talking about right here.
It's a lesson.
Straight up. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not gonna see something that is perceived as negative, and like, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not gonna share that info. Like, I probably will still catch some shit, and even if I'm not the one who shares it, if I see it and I react to it, like, I mean, shit's still gonna be funny at the end of the day, and we're still human. So
I think if people made a concerted effort to seek something positive after seeing something negative, maybe that's a good place to start as far as habitually. Like, if you see something negative, go find something positive to look at as well.
right. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. That's perfect. So, all right, man. I think that's a good way to wrap up the convo.
Yeah.
You know, like I always say, man, we appreciate y'all viewership, appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah.
With the full 5 next week, you feel me? Mac 4 today, but Mac 5 always. And we out.